Hey guys, welcome back. Today is April 15th. It's around 9:30. Hopefully you've all heard about the or you got a text message or something about school being canceled for the rest of the year. So with that being said, we're going to continue. We are going to finish up fractions. And once we finish up fractions, I'm just going to do reviews on everything that we have or I have taught since the beginning of the year. So some things that you can be working on for the rest of the this 9 weeks and the summer is you need to stress multiplication facts, get those facts. Remember, you need to know them like it's your middle name. And just don't forget that I'm here if y'all need anything. I am a message on Dojo away. I usually respond within a few minutes if I see it, but for some reason my phone's not notifying me properly when I get some. I gotta look into that. But anyway, we're gonna continue working on this adding mixed fractions. And these fractions, some have common denominators, others don't. And most of the times when you see mixed numbers on papers, oh, I cut my thumb on Easter, by the way. Okay. Most of the time, you're going to see them written horizontally, which means like a line, like flat. That's horizontal. I suggest you take the little bit of time and write it vertical, which means up and down. It just helps keep things together and it helps keeps things kind of nice and neat. So right now we have 2.5 plus 1 3/5. Now, I'm not going to start off by writing this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and write the whole numbers, which is 2 and then 1. And then we got a plus sign. But we have here 2 and a 5. Now, when we do this, you need to find the LCM or the least common multiple. And when we do that, remember, all you have to do first, ask yourself, will the smaller number go into the larger number? 2, unfortunately, will not go into 5 evenly. 2, 4, 6, 8. It skips 5. So let's start with 5, and we're going to name off some multiples of 5. Okay, let me get my paper here. Okay, multiples of 5, you'll just do this. All right. 5. Well, no, that's not it. 10. 10's an even number, and it is divisible by 2. So my LCM is 10. So now I'm going to come right here and go 2 blank over 10, 1 blank over 10. All right, now, what did I have to do to 2 to get 10? I multiplied it by 5. So if I multiply the bottom by 5, I have to multiply the top by 5. 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, same here. What times 5 gives me 10? 2. So if I multiply this times 2, I have to multiply this times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. All right, now this gives me a problem that has a common denominator, which means I can just work it. So I have 5 plus 6, which equals 11, over 10. Now I can automatically say, hey, something's wrong. Okay, I can say, well, that's an improper fraction. It is, and we'll come back to that in a second. Go ahead and do this. Okay, 2 plus 1 is 3. Now I can't have 3 and 11 over 10. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this number and put my whole number up here. I'm sorry, which is 3. Now I'm going to change my improper fraction into a mixed number. So how many times will 10 go into 11? 1 time. 1 times 10 is 10. 11 minus 10 is 1/10. Add this, you get 4 and 1/10. So 4 and 1/10 is your answer. I'm sorry, I had to pause the video. I got choked. Okay, so my plan for this is I'm going to do the top 6, and the kids will do the bottom 6 over the next few days. So I'm going to do number 5 next. And lucky for us, they're using the same denominators as they used for number 1. So think smarter, not harder. Just copy what we used over here. So we're going to know the least common multiple between 5 and 2 is 10. So I'm going to go 1 something over 10 plus 2 something over 10. Now, what times 5 gives me 10? Well, the answer is 2. So if I multiply this by 2, I have to multiply the top by 2. And 2 times 1 is 2. What times 2 gives me 10? You should have 5. So if I do this, 1 times 5 is 5. All right, now it's just easy addition. 2 plus 5 is 7 over 10, because common denominators allows me to drop it. 1 plus 2 is 3. So your answer is 3 7/10. All right, next one. I have 1 3/5 plus 1 1/3. 5 and 3 are my denominators. They are not the same. So we're going to try to figure out what we can do. Okay, I know that 3 will not go into 5 evenly. So I'm going to go ahead, take my scrap paper, and write down my 5s. Okay, 3 will not go into 5. 3 will not go into 10. But 3 will go into 15. So the LCM for 5 and 3 is 15. So I'm going to come right here, write down my whole numbers, and go something over 15 plus something over 15. Okay, what times 5 gives me 15? It's 3. So if I multiply this times 3, I have to multiply this times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. What times 3 gives me 15? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 5. So 5 times 1, it's 1 blank, is 5. All right, so now we just add. Because we have the common denominator here, it's just addition. 9 plus 5 is 14. Right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. I miss having the kids around. They double check my work. So I miss them. All right. I miss y'all. So the next one is, I think they're just okay, I said it before. I think these people have a thing with the number 5. Lucky for us, next one is 1 and 1 1/5 plus 1 1/3, which happens to be the same numbers as the previous one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do 1 plus 1. And then we know that the common multiple is 15. Okay. So what times 5 gives me 15? And we should know it's 3. 3 times 1 is 3. What times 3 gives me 15? It's 5. And then 5 times 1 is 5. So 3 plus 5 is 8. And we can do this now because we have common denominators. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 and 8/15, which will not reduce to anything. All right, next one is 1 1/5 plus 1 1/2. Well, looky here. Same numbers. Okay, 1 plus 1. And then we have a 5 and a 2. And we know that the common denominator between a 5 and a 2 would be 10. Okay. So that means 5 times 2 is 10. So I say, okay, if I multiply that times 2, let's multiply this times 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times what is 10, which is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. All right. 2 plus 5 is 7 tenths, and 2. Okay, last one. And we just so happen to have common denominators. Now I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this because it's easier with fractions to do it. For some people, when we do this, mixed numbers, to do it vertically. And then some people don't have to. But if you find a way that's easy for you, use it. For me and how I work, it's easier for me because on down the road, we have to do the whole find in and you have to rewrite it over here. It's just easier to do it vertically. Okay, so we just have to add 2 plus 4 is 6 over 5. And then we have 1 plus 1 is 2. Now, if you notice, just like we did on number 1, we have an improper fraction, 6 over 5. So what you're going to do, you're going to take this, put your whole number here, which is 2, and you're going to break this improper fraction into a mixed number. 5 will go into 6 one time, and then 6 minus 5 is 1/5. Okay, so drop the 1/5 because it's basically like that's what you're adding. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, now these bottom 6 problems 3, 7, 11, 4, 8, and 12. As you can see, there's some of these that have different denominators, some that have the same denominators, and I think y'all got the easier ones because you only have 2. The rest of them are similar. But you are going to have to be changing around some of the numbers because the ones down here are going to be improper fractions. And this one, I'm going to see if y'all can get that. I want to see. I know y'all can. Just pay attention. So these bottom 6 will be your home, or not your homework, but some work you can work on. And the next thing I'm going to be posting is on subtraction. And it's real fun. So I will, hopefully I'll see y'all sometimes. If not, remember you can message me. If you need anything, just let me know. See y'all later. Good night.